Hello everyone, today I'll be reading this article Rebel Forces Out Assad as Damascus Falls. The fall of Assad's regime signals a new chapter in Syria's tumultuous history, raising critical questions about the country's path to stability. Syrian President Bashar al Assad's government had been fighting rebel groups with the support of Russia, Iran, Lebanese, and Hezbollah right from 2011. Within 10 days of rebels getting control over northwestern city of Aleppo and further capturing Hama with Homs, the capital Damascus, also fell under their control on December 8. President Assad, along with his wife and three children, fled the country before rebel forces could reach him. He had been granted asylum in Moscow. His younger brother was tipped to succeed his father as president, who died in a road accident. He was called back from London, where he was practicing ophthalmologist, to succeed his father as president of Syria. In the initial months after taking over the presidency in the year 2000, he was seen as a reformist and a pro people in sharp contrast to his father Hafez al Assad's 3 year decade rule with iron hands. Once pro democracy protests erupted in 2011, he followed the brutal tactic of his father to crush dissent. The conflict escalated into civil war and he was seen unleashing his military to blast opposition held territories. All supporters of Assad's regime have considerably weakened their backing on account of ongoing war they are engaged in. Russian forces have challenging battle in Ukraine owing to high level of casualties of soldiers in the battle. Russia has withdrawn its forces from Syria particularly and is even further recruiting foreign nationals in force to keep the war going, which has already been continuing for a quarter to 3 years. And Hamas terror attack on Israel on October 7, 2023, and Israel's response to Gaza opened several dimensions of West Asia conflict. Iran supported terror groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon and Houthis in Yemen have denounced Palestinian suffering in Gaza on account of Israeli bombardment, and it's opened additional fronts of Israel in the conflict. This has also weakened Iran and Hezbollah to provide adequate support to Assad's regime. In addition, 13 years of Syrian civil war has exhausted the Syrian army. Owing to the corruption in the bureaucratic and political circle of the Syrian government and a series of Western sanctions, the economy has been hardly afloat. Further, President Erdogan in Ankara is facing the heat of account of 3 million Syrian migrants living in Turkey, and more so because Syria dismisses his proposal for deportation of migrants, alleging that his country has illegally occupied Syrian area along the border. There was an option for Assad to join the Arab League last year, but he did not accept, making Arab nations also opposed him too. Earlier, with the help of Iran and Russia, he had survived the Arab Spring rebellion against him, which originated in Tunisia in 2011. The next question is about the future of Syria. Hayat Hamil al-Sham at the HTS is the Sunni Islamist militant group that played an important role in Syrian civil war. It is this group that has led other rebel groups to occupy Damascus. The US, UK, and UN have designated it as a terrorist organization. A bounty of $10 million was on its chief Abu Ahmed al Golani's head. UK has indicated lifting on ban on HTS if it delivers on promises like protecting minorities and people's right. Turkey has backed some of the other rebel groups in the Syrian civil war which do not have good ties with HTS. The US backed Turkish YPG militia has established control in Syria's northeast, also known as Kurdish Democratic Union Party, and does not enjoy good and workable relation with HTS. There are separate rebels in Syria's southwest. It is quite difficult for all groups to come together and be partners in Syria's new regime. 900 strong military men are maintained by the US in the northeast Syria. The US has maintained this presence in the name of countering ISIS, but its actual goal was the regime change in Syria. The US has now emerged clear winner as rebels have asserted control over Syria, its capital, Damascus. Uncertainties remain about the future of the country. The first day was marked by arsenal looting of shops and banks and emptying prisons, followed by night curfew. But the second day was normalcy, slowly returning to the capital and other cities. The main rebel commander Golani met Assad's Prime Minister Mohammad Jalali and Vice President Faisal Mehdan to install a transitional government in Syria. Further, Golani had announced publicly that they would bring out a list of government officials for torturing the citizens. Responsible for torturing the citizens. In the meantime, there has been a airstrike in Syria by Israeli, US, and Turkey forces to protect each of their interests. Iran and Russia have suffered major setbacks with the fall of Assad's government. Both countries have lost key allies. As Sunni Islamic groups are going to be in control of Syria, Iran, a predominantly Shia population, is more vulnerable to Israeli attacks when when rebel forces took control of Aleppo about a week earlier. Both Iran and Russia could not extend adequate defense, leading to fall of even Damascus. Iran was exposed in recent Israeli direct attacks, and Hezbollah was also disseminated. No significant support came from Assad. In recent months, Assad's Syria and Iran could not support each other when exigency arose. Syria is the only state that enjoyed Iran's axis of resistance against the US and Israel. The axis has become a weak. Even Hezbollah downfall could not be prevented. Hezbollah has signed a ceasefire deal with Israel ahead of the Gaza deal. The action of the state of Iran and Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps to defend Assad did not go well with the people of Iran, and it had political and economic costs. The fall of Assad sends a disturbing signal to Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei, who now understands that the axis of resistance can no longer protect the allies. Assad's fall has also emboldened opposition groups in Iran. Besides these, women are protesting for their rights. All these may lead to regime change in Iran too, if the supreme leader realigning himself with the US by reviving softening its stand on the 2015 nuclear deal, then regime change in Iran can be avoided. The last 2 weeks of violence that accumulated in Assad's fleeing Syria also saw the Shia population enthusiastically taking measures to secure the tomb of Zaida Zainab, the daughter of Zayed Ali and Fatima, and the granddaughter of Prophet Muhammad. This holy site signifies great importance for Shia Muslims worldwide. To guarantee the security of this prestigious shrine, Shias from Iran, Iraq, and Pakistan are moving to Syria. The shrine is located in Al Said, South Damascus. Since 1979, Iranian government has provided financial support for the management of shrine. Several Shia scholars and celebrities are buried in the shrine and surrounding cemeteries. Since 2012, the town has been under attack from armed militants in neighboring Sunni towns. Many Shia families were driven out of their homes in southern Damascus. Rockets landing on the random places was quite common. Sunni Muslims comprise 74% of Syria's population, whereas Shia are only 3%. Shias hold quite a strong sentiment for the shrine. The issue can be potential flashpoint between the two sects and could also determine the rivalry between the rebel groups. Will Syria's transition to democracy be smooth? It is possible only when the different rebel groups learn to share power. Thank you. That's for today.